This game looks cool. It is. It's super cool. And the cool thing is that like the ultimate end goal is to build your own Dyson Sphere. Like you literally get to do this. Like it's not just like one of these things where it's like Dyson Sphere Program. Oh, you get to build like a giant factory and like, but you never get to actually, you know, do what the game's title says. Like, no, you actually do like get to leave your planet and go to like gas giants, ice giants. You get to build an entire actual Dyson sphere around a sun or a star. Or fucking, in my case, what I'm planning on doing is building one around a black hole. Because there's, let's see, there's black hole in this system. There's, where is it? There's a neutron star way over there. Like, let's see. Yeah. Wow, there's only one. Huh. Yeah, and you can't see it up close, but like when you're orbiting it, it's God, 16 light years away. That's not too far. I could get there in 2 minutes. What was that? Fire ice fractal silicon unipolar magnet. That's cool. Yeah, and it tells you like all the stuff that you can mine from the place. But like it's a really cool game, and like dude, some of the like the blueprint community and the modding community for this game goes fucking hard. Like hold on. Like the blueprint that I'm planning on using for the Dyson Sphere looks like this. Yeah. Like people are making some wild looking shit for Dyson Spheres. Let me check this out. Yeah, I mean like someone just made a Red Lotus Dyson Sphere. Like starter double ring cluster. And you can make it like big enough to where it encompasses other planets, not just around the star or the sun, but so far out that it encompasses like Mercury and Venus and shit like that. It's really cool. It's basically Factorio and Satisfactory, but on a galactic scale. It's fucking nuts. And the community is really wholesome. They're super helpful, really cool. I've got nearly perfect scores on Steam. I may have to look into it. It's worth the money. Like, dude, in the past week and a half, I've sunk, what is it? Like, how much time have I put into this? 130 hours. Yeah. This is a crazy, like, time devourer of a game. Like, not even joking. Yeah, like in the past like 6-7 days, 130 hours sunk into this. It's got 128 achievements too that I will never get all of in any universe whatsoever. But yeah, the modding community goes pretty fucking hard for this too. And I'm running a few mods for it. Nothing like game breaking, but just to make my life a little easier. But yeah, it's really fun. And I've also like been on, because I'm working on a couple of videos right now around based on space. One's about another YouTuber, and then one is about Alkaloid, the band, and their song saga, the Dyson Sphere saga. And so I've kind of been on like a big space kick. And yeah, I've got 2 or 3 videos in the works. Hell, I might even do a video on this. God knows I've sunk enough time into it. And so like when I heard about this game literally just being called the Dyson Sphere Program, I was just like, okay, I might have to check this out. And then I saw that you could actually build a legitimate Dyson Sphere. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to play this. I'm absolutely going to have to play this. And it's been really fun. Because I tried to get into Factorio, but it's so unforgiving. It is so unforgiving. Like if you fuck up one setup like say something like this, like organizing certain things in a certain way out of like an ore vein being routed somewhere, and you decide later on, oh well, I actually want it this way, you're kind of fucked. Like it's really brutal. Like you have to design things pretty much the right way the first time. Like there's no, like you can redesign things, but you get punished severely for it. And so it's, I don't know, it's not as welcoming as this is, whereas there's no real punishment for redoing things or just tearing something down and rebuilding it, whereas like in this, like I said, like when you tear something down, you get all the materials back 1-to-1, and you can just rebuild it somewhere else for free, which is super cool, super handy, really fucking awesome. I love that. Just seeing images and modded communities of this game is definitely delightful. Yeah, it's nice to see, like, there's an entire website dedicated to this called Dyson Sphere Blueprints.com. Like, the community goes so hard for this that they dedicated an entire website to just blueprints for people to just build blueprints like what you see here. Like this whole little setup that I've got right in front of me, and people can just submit blueprints, and you can copy and paste those blueprints into your game and just build whatever someone else has built and just benefit from it. Oh yeah, that could be an issue. Oh my. No. There we go. Holy fuck. Okay. Jesus. I was wondering. I knew something had to have happened. I don't know why, but it gives me some Sims and Roller Coaster Tycoon mechanics from the building aspects of things. Yeah, a bit. Yeah, you're not wrong. A lot of it, like, particularly if you're not running any mods, and if you're, because there's actually a mode that you can run that's just built into the game, native to the game, called Infinite Resources. Or infinite veins, like iron veins, coal veins, oil, things like that. Anything that pertains to anything that you have to mine. You can turn that on to where you never have to worry about resources like this, like crude mineral resources and things like that running out, because they will. You can see the number there, and slowly over time they will run out. It takes a while, but it will eventually run out. And especially like when you're mining stuff on this kind of scale, things will run out way faster than you want them to, and then you'll have to you'll have to set up shop on a completely different planet. And so then it becomes a game of having to be very careful about resource management, and also figuring out where to build things in the right places to maximize efficiency and things like that. It becomes far more strategic than I'm playing, because I've got infinite resources turned on and things like that, because I just want to enjoy the game. That, and I've already sunk so many hours into the game that I want to be able to finally move on to the other games that I've had, on the back burner for a while now. So I don't want to spend the next, 6 months playing this game. Now, if that's not to say that that's necessarily a bad thing. Like, if you want to play this game casually for, weeks, months, even a few years, hell yeah, go for it. Because this is absolutely one of those games that you can easily do that with. And if that's your kind of thing, then fuck yeah, go for it. But there are many people like Nilos and many other players and YouTubers who absolutely have built like entire channels around just this game, and I have to give them credit where it's due, because this is one of those kinds of games where you absolutely can very easily sink hundreds upon thousands of hours into this game, just maximize, like min-maxing everything to your heart's content. And it is very fun. I very much enjoy it. There's a lot of interesting physics. Like, you notice as I go past the sun, my speed increases. Like, there's a lot of neat little, like, physics-based things that they kind of tossed into this. It's like gravity will kind of slingshot you around things. They've added a lot of very realistic things into this that I really never expected. It's really cool. There we go. Okay, now. Cool. I'm the same boat. Games can be casual, hardcore, or mixture of both, but it all comes down to the nature and philosophy on what gamers like ourselves want to take our time doing. Exactly. Like, there are some games that I can 100% justify spending like hundreds of hours of doing, you know? It's like Elden Ring is a really good example of this. Like, first night it came out, streamed it for 49 hours straight, you know? I mean, I just did. And played it every fucking day for like the next month and a half straight. Streamed it every time. And when the DLC for it comes out, I'll probably do the same thing. I'll probably put out tons and tons of videos for it. But there are certain games where I'm just like, I'll probably do like a video on this, you know. But there's others where I'm just kind of like, like I said, it's like it'd be fun to kind of piddle around with. Because they take what? Oh, the quantum chips too. Right. Did that with Skyrim, Witcher 3, Far Cry 3, etc. It's just like the grand scale of games just makes us feel like we have to do everything for hours countlessly, and there's no shame or guilt in spending many days and months playing a game that truly represents our characteristics for video games. Yeah, I agree. You're not wrong. Yeah, I mean, it is one of those things where you're just kind of like, it's like, the game, because you think to yourself, it's like, well, the game is that good. Why wouldn't I play it for this long? I want to see everything, you know? We get a lot done last night. We finally made it. Where is this? Finally made it to the black hole. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's fucking beautiful. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have to redesign this, but we'll get to that. This game has consumed so much of my time. So I've been getting everything set up, and things are slowly coming together. I was up way too late last night. I know I said I was going to stream last night, but yeah, I got way too absorbed in, like, one, I ended up feeling really, really sick, so I didn't really feel like being on camera while I was having massive stomach cramps. But I tried to take my mind off of that by just going full nuts to butts into this and getting as much done as possible. And I did get a lot done. I did. Yeah, because there was a lot that needed to be done. And if I hadn't done that, I would be spending all day today doing what I did last night. Which is crazy. Because I had to turn one of the entire planets in the second star system, around the blue star system, into basically a intergalactic hub station. Basically not a mall, but like a depot for everything that I have built so far. So it can kind of be a midway point from my first star system where I started the game and started building up everything, all the raw materials, all of like the major, bigger components like roads, things like that, ingots, bigger and better things, and have it segue into the second star system as like a collection point, and then all ultimately, if need be transferred to this here, which is the third star system, which is around the black hole, which I have appropriately named Azagthoth. No. Because if you know anything about H.P. Lovecraft, then you'll know why I named it that. I got Dyson Sphere Program over the weekend. Nice. What prompted you to get it? I'm curious if it was the same reason as me. Hey, girl. Hey. Oh, hi. You come and hang out with us? She wants to say hi. Oh, big girl. Yep. Need a good girl. Because I've been on a huge space kick recently. Like anything remotely related to outer space, like science fiction or otherwise. And also a couple of the metal bands that I listen to have been recently putting out space-themed albums. And so it was kind of appropriate that I happened to come across this game about a week and a half ago. And I was like, that looks cool. I was like, it's been out for a while, so it's probably had a quite a few quality of life updates and things like that. And it has. And then I did a bit more research into it and found out that you can legitimately just go in and build like a full-on Dyson Sphere. And I was like, okay, I gotta play this. This sounds really cool. I like space plus factory games with exploration. Yeah, and that's when I first started streaming this, that's kind of what I was mentioning, was that, like, I tried my best to originally, like with Factorio, for instance. I really love the idea and premise behind Factorio, but it's so much more unforgiving. Like for instance, if you get like 5-6-ish or more hours deep into the game and you realize that you've designed something or organized things in a not so optimized way or not so ideal way, you can kind of end up unintentionally screwing yourself over out of progressing forward. You can kind of bottleneck yourself into not being able to progress that much further without things becoming infinitely more difficult than things would have been had you just like min-maxed everything and super prioritized everything, Whereas with this, and so what I'm talking about, right? Whereas with this, it is so much more laid back and forgiving. Like with most factory games, there is that grinding aspect of, collecting materials, to build this and that, that thing that you just built goes towards building something even bigger. And it's a standard factory game in that sort of sense, but it's so much more forgiving in that if you've decided, 5, 10, 20 plus hours in, or even 100 plus hours in, that you're like, oh, I don't like how this is, I need to redo this, you absolutely can. You can just go and just delete it all and redesign it with no punishments. Like, you get back everything that you built into it, so you don't lose anything, and just completely redesign the whole thing in a far more optimized way, and you don't get punished. Oh yeah, the fog. Yeah, the dark fog. Yeah, there's the shadow enemies things too. Yeah, because there's that in this game. Because I know there's the enemies in Factorio as well, and you have to deal with that. Whereas the one thing I do like, same. I'm doing the exact same thing on my playthrough. On this one that you see here, I turned off enemies. I turned off dark fog because I wanted to just kind of be able to enjoy the game and experience it as it was originally created. Because when they first put out the game, there were no enemies. It was just a standard, factory building game in outer space. It was basically Factorio in space. Here, get on your chair. She has her own dedicated kitty chair. But yeah, and I'll probably do the same thing as you're saying. Like, later on, I'll probably go and, play with enemies and challenge myself. Because I think over the past week and a half, almost 2 weeks now, I've put in almost 200 hours into it. Because it is, and I didn't expect to. Like, I'll 100% admit, did not expect to put anywhere close to this much time into the game. I figured maybe 30, 40 hours at most, and then I'd get to the end and be done with it, do a video or two on the game for my YouTube channel, and that'd be the end of it. 160 hours later, I'm still playing and still trying to get my first Dyson Sphere built, and I'm just like, I have to keep playing. I have to keep going. I have to do things bigger and better, and like, I want to do it this way. And it sucks you in because, like I said, it's way more forgiving than most factory style games. Kind of like, I use Factorio as a reference a lot because it can get really unforgiving later on in the game. But I think this is a good representation of how factory games, whether it's set in space or not, how they should be done. Like, if you decide that you don't want something to be a certain way, you shouldn't be punished for redesigning. You should get back the materials that you put into it, and you should be able to redesign it in a far more optimized way, I've gotten done with all yellow research, so working on making purple. Oh, cool. So you've gotten a good ways in. I got about 150 hours on it already, though I did let the game run overnight a few nights. I've done the same thing. Don't worry. Because there's with some of the research, as you can see up there, it takes a lot. And a lot of it can go very slowly. If, like, just in case, like, I don't know if you've figured this out yet or not, but you can speed up research. Like, if you're at one of the places where you're producing science, you can not even trying to get a Dyson Sphere right now. I just want to focus on the backbone. Yeah, I feel you. But yeah, if you ever do want to speed up research to get to something else you've queued up, like say it takes red and blue to finish whatever research you're doing right now, you can take out like 400 or 600 cubes of both colors into your inventory, and then go to one of your matrices that produces those, like one of these, and instead of doing produce, you can go to science and manually input cubes those color cubes into their slots, and it will double the rate at which science is produced, and it'll speed this whole thing up over here way faster. I know, right? The yellow was painful, which is why the AFK, yeah. Because there's a few times when, like, before I figured that part out, I was just like, this is going to take hours. I was just like, I'm just going to let this run overnight. By the time I wake up, maybe it'll be done, you know? But then I finally figured out how to speed it up, and I was like, okay, well, that's a little bit better. And even then, sometimes when it takes like 4,000, 6,000, like 1,200 each, all the way up to green, like that's going to take a while, even with speeding it up. So it's, you know, it's a grindy game, but once you can finally see like your end goal in sight, it makes it feel so much more like cathartic, because I finally made it out here to where I'm at a black hole, and I'm going to build a Dyson Sphere around it. And that's what I'm doing right now, is building all of the stuff to start that. I've stacked those buildings. Oh, yeah. Yeah, because I have, where is it? Yeah, at here, I've got a place called Death Star Halfway House. At my Gorlock planet, I've got that entire planet is dedicated to just science research. Like, wrapped around the whole equator is nothing but science. Didn't bother making a backbone for research, so it was only able to supply 1.5 of the research buildings. Oh, yeah. And don't worry, once you get to a certain point, things kind of start exploding in speed. Like, it starts very slowly. Like, it is absolutely like a slow start. But once you hit a certain point, things kind of like just shoot off the ground in speed as far as being able to produce things and actually accomplish stuff. I can already tell I need the backbone for the purple and yellow. Yes. Yeah, especially purples and yellows. Greens as well, because they take, what are they called? Quantum chips, and those take processors and plane filters, which take Casimir crystals, which take like 3 other things, which take graphene, hydrogen, and also titanium crystals. So yeah, it starts becoming this thing where it's similar to Factorio in that, like, okay, well, this thing creates this thing, and that thing that I just created creates this, but then after a certain point, it's like the much bigger and bigger things start requiring things that you've already assigned to other things. So you're like, well, how am I going to divide this up? And that's when you have to start going to other planets to siphon off materials, because you start realizing that you're going to run out on the one planet that you're on. Yeah, it is a slow process, but after a while, you start mining and producing so many things that you're never going to run out. Like, and I'm finally at that point. Like, I'm about 170 hours in, and I've just hit that point where I'm like, okay, I don't really have to worry about materials anymore. Because, like, once you get to your second and third planet, and you're able to start doing, what is it? The orbital collectors from, like, gas giants or ice giants, it helps so much. I've got processors doing 30 per second possibles. I've gotten quite a lot being able to do 30 per second, though copper and iron is like 90 a second. Wow, that's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad at all. It's when you, I noticed, or for me at least, it was when I had to start going and looking for titanium that I started having issues, because I had to force myself to go to another planet, because my home, like, Earth planet pretty much had no titanium. Like, the only way I could originally get it was from, well, actually, I couldn't really get it. I could make it from, like, other stuff, but it was horribly inefficient. So, yeah. After that, I had to go to basically what was the equivalent of, like, Mercury. Like, the planet closest to my home sun. and just farm titanium from there, titanium and silicon. And that's when things finally started to kind of speed up for me. I was just like, okay, I'm getting stuff now. Like, I could actually see progress. One thing, you might have noticed this as well, but like the blueprint community goes hard. Like, and that's one thing that's helped me a lot in progressing really quickly where I otherwise wouldn't have. The blueprint community has gone crazy with this game in a good way. Like, because it is one thing, like, I get the argument that a lot of people make. They're like, oh, it's more fun making it for yourself and realizing, you know, like, where you've fucked up and, like, how you need to, you know, optimize things. And I get that, and I do agree to a certain extent. But after a while, it's just like, if you see that someone's just flat out made something better than you, just, I mean, by all means, go for it. Use it to your advantage, because that's kind of the point of the blueprint system. Because there's a whole website dedicated to the blueprints, and it's super useful. Nilos on YouTube actually has made some of the most useful blueprints I've ever used on here. And it's nuts. Wanted to make the backbones for stuff. I'll need to build more stuff, so I've got the stuff needed to craft buildings mostly done. Just haven't automated the crafting of buildings, some here and there, but definitely not going to be my final design. Yeah, I get that. I absolutely get that. Yeah, because that's basically what I was doing in the beginning as well. I was like, okay, I'm going to need this stuff later on, so I might as well go ahead and make as much of it as I possibly can and have it being made forever, so that when I do need it, I don't have to worry about it, you know. And that's smart. You want to do that. You want to prioritize things, like the most necessary things first, so that it's smart for you to do that. Like, you'll never hear me argue that, you know. So you were watching him on YouTube? Yeah, because I've got a video of his pulled up right now for the exact thing that I'm doing right now. Whoops, what am I doing? But yeah, because there's so few really well done videos on how to actually get certain things up and running, because the game doesn't really explain it to you. It's just like, here, figure it out, which part of me appreciates, but it also is kind of nice that, you know, someone has dedicated a YouTube channel to just being like, look, this is how you do it. It's not that hard, you know, don't worry. Like, so he's done a good job at kind of dedicating a vast chunk of his channel to stuff like this. But he's got a website for pretty much all of the blueprints that he's done for Dyson Sphere. And some of them, I'll go ahead and tell you right now, are crazy huge and require an enormous amount of products and things. Like this, oh my god. Like the thing that I showed you, the Death Star planet that I made over here, the halfway house that I made for like the galactic hub. That's actually, like, I named it that, but it's the Galactic Cross-Docking Planet blueprint. Look at the requirements for that. 240 intergalactic stations. To give you an idea of like how much you're going to have to build to get that up and running. It's insane, like how big some of his blueprints are. I want to build something like that, but my poles have ores and I don't want to cover them up, so I got them mining in the background. Oh yeah, and see, like, thankfully, big stuff like this, like the really, really big stuff, goes around the equator. So you don't have to worry too much about the North and South Pole. The hardest part is supplying enough power to these things because they consume stupid amounts of energy, of electricity. But yeah, beyond that, it's not too bad. But yeah, the Galactic cross-docking station is super useful if you're trying to go from like star system to star system and you don't want to leave all the things that you've built, all of your materials like your ores, your ingots, all of the necessary essentials behind. You can set that up on just like a planet in a star system halfway in between where you're actually going, and it'll serve as kind of like a halfway point where everything can kind of be transferred to and from. Like, look at this. It might, yeah. You see how big this is? Like, and it can only fit on the equator. If there's nothing there, like, you have to bury all of the ore veins that are wrapped around the equator to get it to work. It's insanely huge. But it's useful because, like it says, it's a make everything. It makes everything in the game. Yeah, so it's useful. I need this one. The carrier capacity as well. You can daisy chain the silos. The vertical launching silos. Oh yeah. Yeah, and I've seen how people daisy chain them, but I don't really feel like doing that. I'm not too terribly worried about doing that. Because this is going to be my one and only. Because I'm doing it around a black hole. I know they have like the lowest amount of luminosity possible, but I don't care. Like, I want to build a Dyson Sphere around a black hole, and it's going to be my only one. And, you know, it's... So I don't really need to, like, min-max the silos or the, what is it? The EM rail ejectors. Because once everything's done, it's done. You know? So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Like, yeah, and God, the design that I have is... Oh man. It's gonna take a while, too, by the way. Mother of God, it's gonna take a while. Like, yeah. Because there's 7 layers, 6, I think, of this interweaving. Okay, it's 6. Yeah. This is... Oh, yeah. This is going to be a very time-consuming Dyson shell. The swarms won't take too terribly long, but the shell is going to take a ridiculous amount of time. It's like 143, almost 144,000 cell points. So that's going to take a while. And I know that it's going to be around 280,000 based on the orbits. It's going to be around 280,000 solar sails. So it's going to take a while. But it's going to look super cool once it's done. So there's that. So I'm not too terribly worried because once it's done, it's done. No more other playthroughs. Not for this. I've already put in I'm approaching 200 hours on this, which is way more than I expected for this. And I've got like 6 other games that I've had on the back burner since I started this and have been wanting to get to and been wanting to do videos on for my YouTube channel. And so like realistically, the sooner I can get done with this, the better. That's not to say that I haven't been enjoying this, because if I hadn't been enjoying this, then I would not have invested the better part of 200 hours into this, because I really do love this game. This is probably, I think, the best factory building game that's out there right now. Like, it absolutely deserves its spot in the, you know, trifecta of, like, factory building games, like, you know, with Factorio and Satisfactory. Like, it deserves its place. Like, it's earned it. It is that good. Because it is insanely addictive and very fun. The game's okay. You got 3,500 hours logged. You know, it's okay. You know. Yeah, I've. You know, the funny part is I've heard people say the same thing about you know, their World of Warcraft addiction, with them having like over like 15,000 hours into it. It's like, yeah, the game's pretty okay. It's like, how many hours have you logged? Like, over 15,000 hours, or, you know, over 20,000, 30,000 hours. It's like, okay, yeah, I hope the game's okay. Because if it's just mid, man, I can't imagine what you think a masterpiece game is, and how much time you've put into it then. Holy shit. But hey, you know, you gotta respect the dedication. And I do. Like, God, if you combine all of the Souls series together, like Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, and especially Elden Ring, I know I've got over 4,000 hours invested into those games. Easy. So, I mean, I'm far be it from me to talk shit. Spend 100,000 hours on a masterpiece game. Yeah. Like, if you think a game's just okay and you're already dumping like 15,000 hours into it, masterpiece game, last 15 years of your life, you know, casually. It's like from the time you're 15 until the time you're 30, like the last half of your life. And hey, you know, we can joke about it all we want, but there are people who have unironically done this. Who have done this exact thing and are proud of it. But again, hey, like I said, far be it for me to judge. I mean, shit. Especially if you can turn it into a monetizable career, hey, go for it. I mean, shit. I mean, might as well. And only says it's a great game. But yeah, 100k hours and says it's only a great game. Masterpiece. To them, a masterpiece doesn't exist. It's a physical impossibility. They can't conceive of a game that is that good. You know, it just doesn't exist. It's a figment of their imagination. Yeah. Yeah, they just don't believe in it. It's like flat earthers. It's like, no, you don't understand. Round Earth doesn't actually exist. We've just believed it all this time, so now we've just accepted it as truth. The truth is that Earth is flat. That's how they think. It's just a figment of their imagination. But no, Earth, yeah, no. Everybody, like I said, everyone else is crazy. Earth's a fucking frisbee, man. All that science shit. It's like fucking magnets, man. How do they work? I don't want to talk to a scientist. Motherfuckers lying and get me pissed. How do you design one of those? This one I took a blueprint from the blueprint site. I painted the entire thing myself because it was painted something completely different, and I personally, I didn't like the aesthetics of it, so I painted it myself. But you basically, here, you go in and you can design the swarms basically by just choosing orbit patterns, which is basically just like these. They're circling around here. Yeah. Like you can see it going from that way to there to there. That's all that's going to be. The swarms are super easy. You just choose what orbital path. Like mine's going to be kind of like an X with one in the very middle that's going around the exact center. The shell is what is far more tedious. For instance, let's see, like with this, for instance, you can, if I take off, like I have to leave it in paint mode to show this one, to show only this one. Otherwise it's going to show all 6 layers and it's really fucking annoying. There we go. But basically you go in and you can choose like nodes or frame or shell, and you can pick a point and drag and drop, like if you choose frame, you can choose from point to point like this, like from here to here to here to here, and you can choose how they connect, and you can see like these little like swirly patterns. You can choose how you want the grids to be. And you can also, it's way more, let's see, like here we go. Yeah. See, you can get these kinds of patterns to be implemented onto your shell. Like this like beehive pattern, and Art Deco, Art Nouveau patterns, or geometric patterns. Most of this one revolves between, I think, either this one or I think, the honeycomb pattern. So it's this one and this one, and they kind of go back, they alternate back and forth. And that's pretty much it. And you, like, once you design like a structure, like say for instance, my God, I'll have to go back and paint. Like for, like say like a triangle like this, you can fill it in with like those patterns, like the honeycomb, for instance. You can fill it in, and you can, if you want to, you can do it point by point by point by point, kind of like a pointillism painting or drawing, where it's just, you can do it dot by dot if you want it, if you want to go about it in that tedious of a manner. But you don't have to. You can fill in whole sections at a time like this just instantly with like one click, and it's super easy. Like when I was painting this, like I was afraid that I was going to have to go in and paint everything like point by point by point, but no, it's literally just like filling in each section, just bloop 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 bloop, and that's it. Super easy, very very intuitive, very easy to kind of figure out. It seems very daunting at first, and kind of a very, it is a time consuming thing, especially if you want a really elaborate design like this, which is why I chose to take someone else's blueprint and redesign the color palette and everything on my own, because I had actually started on my own design, and then I started looking at other people's designs and comparing mine versus theirs, and I was just like, shit, their designs like my design looked like shit. Like, and if I'm only going to build one, then I want it to look good. Like, and I get the whole argument, well, it's not, it's not your own. Like, you're like, it's far more fulfilling if you design it yourself. And I do agree. Like, it is far more fulfilling to do it yourself, get it done, on your own, especially if it's your first time. In my case, I just want it to look really cool. I'm not going about it from a self-fulfilling, type of achievement thing. Now, there are most other games where I will approach it from that perspective. I will 100% approach it from the perspective of, I want to do this my way. I want it to be my achievement. I don't care how other people do it. I do approach it from that perspective. But In this case, I don't mind. I just want to have fun with the game. I want to enjoy it. I want it to look good. You know, I want it to be neat, uniform, like with like blueprints and things like that, like laying down foundations and things like that. And with the Dyson Sphere itself, I just wanted it to look cool. And then I saw that the colors weren't what I wanted, so I just went in and repainted it the colors that I wanted, and that's all it really amounted to. Because I was looking, the guy who designed this particular Dyson Sphere posted a video of it on the Dyson Sphere subreddit, like after he had finished building it for the first time, before he posted the blueprint. And it then, of course, then, you know, he posted the blueprint to it, and it got like thousands and thousands of comments, and everyone was just like, yeah, I decided to build this one for my first one. Wish I hadn't, because oh my god, this took like hours. This is what it looks like finished, if it'll load. Yeah, and you can see all the different, like all 6 layers like moving. That would probably look really cool on a blue star and maybe the white one. Yeah, true. Yeah, and he even explained, he was like, it's about like 280 something thousand solar sails that make up this whole thing. He was like, so make sure that you've got the stuff necessary to build it. And I was just like, oh my god. But when I saw this one, I looked at like other designs, and I was just like, yeah, you know, like some people had built like lotuses, like Japanese lotus flowers and all kinds of really wacky looking stuff. I was like, yeah, those are really cool. But after I saw this one, it's called a Matryoshka sphere, or Matryoshka ball. I was like, man, that looks so damn cool. And way better than anything I could design myself. You know, just 100% admitting, like, I just, you know, if I fly either into a star, black hole, or near it, would I get sucked in and die? It's actually a fair question, because I've flown when I was still in early game, right after I was able to finally leave my home planet, when I was able to get, you know, space travel. I flew really close to the sun, and it'll pull you. Like, gravity will absolutely yank you. Like, there are physics in this, like relatively realistic physics in this, to where it's like, even if you fly near a star, like if, like for example, where is it? Yeah, no. Yeah, my starting system, like, it basically has the equivalent of like Mercury near it, and I'd go from here. I would a lot of times fly from my starting planet Earth to Ifrit, which is basically Mercury. And a lot of times I would have to fly directly past the sun, because the sun would be in the way. And if I got too close to the sun, it would start pulling me in, and I could see my speed, my cruising speed up, like shoot through the roof, and it would throw off my flight pattern. So but I would always, you know, try and fix it, because I was afraid of getting sucked into the star. So I don't know, honestly. I don't know if that would happen if you go to... Matter of fact, you know what? Let me save my game. I'm gonna save it right here, and we're gonna try. Because I've been avoiding the sun like it's my cousin's. It's fair enough. We're gonna try right now. I'll save it right there, and we'll try with the black hole. Because honestly, I have no idea. I know it'll pull you, but I don't know if it'll pull you straight into it. So let's find out. Yeah, it's already speeding me up. You can see the cruise speed down there increasing. Because my max is 2,000. But as you get closer and closer, and it's increasing faster too as you get closer. That's nutty. That's really cool that it does that. Also kind of scary considering. I don't know if you'll just go through it or if they're tangible objects. Oh, wow. No. Okay. Huh. How'd I do? That was an achievement. Huh. Okay, so locate and orbit a black hole. That's another achievement. Are you proud of me, Steven? Ooh, that didn't age well. Ooh. Yeah, considering all the shit that's come out about him with Epstein. Ooh. That's super cool though. Wait, what? Huh. Oh, and it'll just yank you right back. Huh. That's super cool, though. So at least, okay, so at least now you know. Wait, why am I... Oh, wow, it's still trying to pull me back. Can I actually escape it? I'm trying to speed up as we speak. I'm literally holding down the speed up button. I don't know if I can actually get away from it. Get away from its gravitational field. Okay, there we go. You gotta kind of finagle its gravitational. Okay. There we go. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, at least we know now. I imagine the same will happen to a sun or a star, and you'll just kind of like land on it, because you can do the same thing with gas giants. You'll just kind of plop down on like the surface of a gas giant or an ice giant, but you can't actually go to the surface because they don't have surfaces. I don't know. Ooh. Oh, good. Okay, it copies the, copies that. God, that's so much better. Oh my god, I wish I would have known this. Figured that out way sooner. God, that would have saved me so much time with so many other things. This is a lesson. This is a lesson. You can never be too far into a game to still learn stuff. I'm nearly 200 hours into this. And I'm still learning shit. And you know, as far as you know, the question of, you know, will I keep playing? Will I do another Dyson Sphere? I probably will. I will most likely continue playing this game and build multiple Dyson Spheres of different designs. But I'm mostly doing this for the fact of being able to finally say that I did it and I got it done, and I want to be able to do a video on it and kind of sing this game's praises and talk about it and kind of promote the game for my YouTube channel, and also be able to move on to other games that I've had on the back burner for a while. But that's by no means saying that I'm going to just stop playing this game. I love this game way too much for me to just, you know, drop it cold turkey. Like, if you ever see me put this much time into a game, especially every single day from the day I start playing it, you know I like it. You'd better know that I like it. I mean, holy shit. There hasn't been a game that I've enjoyed this much or put this much time and effort into in a while. And that's me being sincere. Like, there's a few games out there that I will really commit to. Oh yeah, it's slowly coming together. We have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure style Dyson Sphere with purple and gold. Prince would also be proud. Now let's check on how this one down here. What are we doing? Ooh. Oh, that's not good. Ooh. Super not good. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is what I was talking about. Like, okay. So, damn. It's starting to look really cool, though. I need more carrier rockets, though. Holy shit. Like, a lot more. Good God. Uh-huh. That's super cool. Nice. Okay, good. They're getting pulled. Okay. Alright. This is all fine. It's getting done. Oh, no. Remote supply as well. Just in case. I mean, it's fucking building the piss out of them. I mean, same for this. Not quite as fast, but it's about as fast as you can hope for. Okay. Yeah, I actually figured I would run out of solar sails instead of the rockets, but I guess I had it backwards. I should have known better, though, because in my head, 280-something thousand solar cells sound like way more than... Wait. Oh. Wow, that's cool. Let me actually see it. When I didn't factor in the fact that as far as nodes go, actual pieces of the Dyson shell, it's 6 layers. It's not just one shell, it's 6 shells. So in reality, it's going to take a lot more than 280,000. That's where we need to go. To Bink. Okay. Oh yeah, see that's so fucking cool. It's so damn cool. I might have to set up a shop here too to do that. Because my God. We're getting there. Slowly, but surely. 43,500 structure points. 274,000 cell points. That's for one layer. That's for one goddamn layer. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, 325,000, 384,000, 226,000, 182,000, 143, and yeah. Oh boy. Jeez. Man, I took on quite a project with this one. Oh my God. Now, it's and I don't feel like I really need to say this, but it is important to bear in mind that if you're building your Dyson Sphere in your home star system, like where you started, everything that I'm doing, you shouldn't really have to worry about. The vast majority of what I'm doing, you shouldn't really have to worry about. Like you'll probably have to go to other planets, like multiple other planets, to collect other materials and things that you don't have. Maybe even another star system to collect things that, you know, like materials and things like that that you don't have. But it'll exclusively be for the sole purpose of transporting it home, you know. Whereas I'm actually venturing further, and I pretty much went into the game with the sole intent of going very far out from where I started, and imposed a very difficult restriction upon myself. Not even a restriction is not the right word, but just a difficulty curve upon myself. And this is bearing in mind that I'm running mods. I'm running, like, not many, like it's like 4 or 5 mods at most, just for like basic quality of life stuff, like for building stuff. Like you see it says 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100 all down here. That's just like if I want to build like a structure, like an assembling machine or a plane smelter or something, I never run out, you know, and I don't have to use materials to build those things. Like, and it never drops down below 100. But in order for me to craft certain things, like, because you see, it only applies to this menu, like power, collecting, logistics, storage, production, transportation, defense, Cosmo. I've already got 100 of those. Yeah, Cosmo, and then environment modification. That's the only thing it applies to. Like if I want to build the solar sails or the rockets to build an actual Dyson Sphere, I have to craft those, and I have to have the materials to craft them. So that's why all of these are actually necessary. Like that is 100% necessary for me to continue forward. So it and not to mention, I'm venturing very far outside of my home star system, so things become ever more tedious as it goes. So that's why the vast majority of people don't do what I'm doing. Like they build their first Dyson Sphere in their starting star system. Like the sun that they see when they first start the game, that's where they build their Dyson Sphere. They don't go beyond that. Afterwards, sure, you know, whenever they have like the energy and the things like that to work with, sure, absolutely, because it makes sense. What I'm doing doesn't make sense. I'm being stupid, but I think I'll have to triple my magnetic coil crafting sometime. Yeah, probably. That's what I was saying before. Like, it gets to a certain point where you kind of will take a step back and look at how much you're producing of everything and being like, yeah, this isn't going to be enough. like it was enough at one point. It was probably more than enough at a certain point, but looking further ahead, being like, yeah, no, you're going to need a whole hell of a lot more. And you're not wrong either, especially when you get further along to where you're attempting shit like this, or trying to just, like, even if you're ignoring the Dyson Sphere and waiting until like way down the road to do that, and if you're only going for science and just kind of unlocking everything and just exploration and things like that, even then, like, you're gonna need a lot. You know, it's really good to have the foresight to kind of build up as much as you possibly can. Like whatever you think you need, triple it. Yeah. I mean, legitimately. Because it got to a point for me, like at the beginning, where I was just like, I should be good. Like, this would be more than enough. Yeah, progress means expansion, and expansion means you need exponentially more stuff. Because, like I said, like at the beginning, like I got to a certain point where I was just like, okay, I'm good for like the rest of the game. And then, of course, I hit that wall that everyone inevitably hits in every game ever, and you're just like, oh shit, I don't have enough. Like, I need easily double or triple what I have now. So like you said, you know, you have to expand if you want to progress. So like, especially like for those who are in relatively early game, like still on your first planet or first 1 or 2 planets, take whatever you have now, however much you've like accumulated in like resources and like factory building, and like triple it or quadruple it, and you'll be good for a little while longer. And even then, you're probably still going to have to build many more of those exact same things just to keep going. It's not to say that you're going to like run out permanently, but it's going to help you in the long run. Yeah, do 10x. That's a much better way of putting it. Yeah, because I'm being very lax on it, but yeah, 10x is a much better way of putting it. Good God. Yeah, and this is kind of proof of that, because I thought foolishly that I had more than enough solar sails and rockets stored up to complete this. And when I didn't even have like a 10th of what I needed. And now I'm paying the price. So, you know, I like seeing all the drone ships flying between planetary stations, probably 100 or 2 flying around. Yeah, it gives you like this tangible sense of progress and things happening, things getting done, you know, shit's getting accomplished, and it's a good feeling. It is a legitimately good feeling. Oh yeah. Goodness gracious. Yeah, it's like 30-second days and 30-second nights. It's crazy. It's just a wee bit ridiculous. There. Alright, that solves that. I gotta go to sleep. I feel you. It was good for you to hang out and chill and chat this whole time. Well, I appreciate it. Hell, if my internet keeps tanking, I may call it a night myself, but I don't know yet. I'm so close to actually like finishing this. I don't know. I might try and hoof it out. If you're still streaming when I wake up, I'll come chat again. Oh yeah. I hope I'm asleep. For my own sake, I hope I'm asleep. I mean, well, I certainly picked a one hell of a project for my first one, but hey, why not? like I said before, if we're gonna go big. My God. Yeah, it goes without saying, I do not recommend doing this one as your first. Looks cool when it's done. Looks insanely cool. Because you can color it whatever you want. I just picked these colors. It starts blue. But yeah. If you pick this one as your first one, you are not going to be a happy camper for pretty much, yeah, over half a day, because I've been doing this for nearly 13 hours. It's still just fuel. It's just the fuel rods. It is still just them. Yes, I am. 15 and a half hours later. Yep. Yeah. I'm almost done. You can see how much crap I've had to put here to keep things running. I've had to turn this into an entire Dyson Sphere base. So yeah. And it's all because I've been short on rockets. Oh my God. I've had such a freakish shortage of rockets. Deuteron fuel rods, quantum chips, mostly the fuel rods, but my God. Then again, it doesn't help the fact that the Dyson Sphere I'm making is excruciatingly big and detailed. Yeah, it is almost done. Like, all 7 layers are almost done. Got 223,000 solar sails orbiting it. Like in these light patterns, those are all solar sails. It is almost done. Like every layer is at like between 95 to 98% complete. Yeah. Structure points are all within 1 to 2,000 of being done. Like 42.3 out of 43.5. Sell points 261,000 out of 274. 45,000 out of 46,000. 311,000 out of 325. 366k out of 384. 49.1 out of 50. 39.1 out of 39.6. 221 out of 226. 35.1 out of 36.3, 171 out of 182. I think that one has the furthest to go. And then 31.8 out of 32.4 and 138,000 out of 143,000. It's almost done. Every layer is like 95 to 98% complete. Yeah, 9.3 gigawatts. Yep. It's, yeah. 30, yep. 39. Come on. Hit 660. Boom. All right. All structures are done there. All structures are done there. All structures are done there. Oh, dude, okay. Last 60. And they're right there. They're all right there. Yep. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. Then Structures are done there. Structures done there. Okay, so all that's left are the sell points. Excellent. Excellent. I am so fucking excited because I'm like 16 hours into this. 187 hours. I'm sure it's longer than that. There's no way. Man. So the better part of 200 hours in basically 2 weeks. Yeah, I really didn't expect to enjoy this game this much, but I really love it. Goodness gracious. Oh wow. That's kind of cool. Huh. Huh. Oh wow. That's wacky. What the shit? But to absorb that whole glob. 375.9. It is. Good lord. Okay. All right. Oh. Whoa. Okay. Oh, that finished it. Oh. I see. Wow. Okay. So it is done. Holy shit. Yeah, everything is done. My god. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So it is done. Finally, after 16 hours. Holy shit. Okay, so let me calculate this. 1,536,888 cell points. And that's also 248,760 structure points. So minimum, that's 250,000 rockets that you're going to have to be shooting off. Minimum. With also around the same amount of solar sails. Around between 220 to 280,000 solar sails. All right. Well, let's go take a look. Awesome. That's fantastic. Oh. Oh, I'm so happy about that. Man, I'm gonna have to take a break now. I think that's my cue. Good God. Holy shit. I'm so happy it's finally done. Jesus Christ. 1.5 million cell points. And what was it? 204, almost 249,000 structure points. It's absolutely ridiculous. With about the same amount, about 249,000 solar cells for my first Dyson Sphere, which is insane. I have to take a break though. I've been at this for 16.5 hours. I have to rest my eyes and do something else. Man, I absolutely have to. But I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you all for coming and hanging out and chilling and chatting with me for this whole half a day that I've been doing this, and finally getting to see this come to fruition. That means a lot to me. Like, for real. I appreciate that. I'm glad that I finally got it done. I didn't expect to get it done in this stream, but I'm glad that I did. That was really cool. So yeah, I appreciate that. It does mean a lot to me. But yeah, I'm gonna have to take a break for at least a little while and rest my eyes. But yeah, maybe I don't know, the next video or next stream I'll be doing will probably be on Alan Wake, because I want to do 1 and 2 like back to back. Obviously not in one stream, God. But yeah, I do want to do both of those games. I want to do one to refresh myself on the story, and then do the second one so I'm like up to date on everything, because that'd be super cool. Yeah, no, thank you. I appreciate it. You have a good one as well. I hope to see y'all next time. Y'all been fun. Y'all are awesome. Super, super fun. Appreciate the hell out of y'all. Honestly. I mean it too. It really does mean a lot. Y'all rule. Oh man. But yeah, I'm gonna take a break for a little bit and try and get some of this stuff done for my channel. And hopefully see you guys either later tonight or tomorrow for some Alan Wake. But yeah. Take care of yourselves. Peace.